Hello, my name is Elisa Di Napoli and I am rapid transformational change hypnotherapist and coach NLP practitioner. And today I want to talk about the two major causes of depression and what you can do about it. I have had depression myself. I know it from the inside, and I know how debilitating it can be. And I'm sure that if you have depression, you know that very much yourself. There's some people that might say, well, you need to be in therapy for years and years and years. But in my experience, that is not necessarily true. Change can be rapid if you know how to change and how the mind works. The most important thing when you're trying to change anything is to change your thinking, your mindset. You may want to control and try and change your action, but really your thoughts control your feelings, and your feelings control your actions, and then your actions put you in certain situations where you react in a specific way that's informed by the way you feel, and then the results of those actions tend to feed back into your thoughts. Now, when we are in depression, we're stuck in a loop of negative thoughts. Basically, these negative thoughts are the words that we say to ourselves and the pictures that we imagine in our minds, and we repeat them again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And whatever you repeat to yourself again and again, your mind will believe, because your mind doesn't care whether what you repeat is true, false, good, bad, healthy or unhealthy. It will just believe whatever you tell it to again and again and again. The brain is plastic, meaning it can change all the time, but it's like, you know, the more it rains down a small rivulet, the groove gets deeper, and it can even cause that little rivulet one day to become the Grand Canyon. So the negative words that you repeat to yourself are causing the feelings of hopelessness that then make you not want to get out of the house or get out of bed, which then, if you indulge in that, will then feed again into those negative thoughts. These negative thoughts are like rats that carry disease. Okay, and everybody has got a rat in their house every once in a while. That's pretty normal. But the difference between someone who will become depressed and someone who won't is that the person who doesn't become depressed will get rid of that rat as quickly as possible. Will pay attention to that rat and just not tolerate it in the house. Whereas somebody who will end up being depressed is somebody who will allow that rat to be in the house and maybe even leave crumbs all over the place, and then another rat will come in the house, and then another rat, and then another rat, and before you know it, an entire family of rats are in your house, and you look around and go, oh, my life is completely crappy. I'm full of rats everywhere, and it will never change. It's always been this way, it will always be this way, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Sure, if that's what you say to yourself, that is absolutely what's going to happen. But you know, it doesn't have to be this way. When you're depressed, if you're anything like me, you love debating and fighting against people that try to get you out of it with rational arguments. Because of course, you've thought about it all before. So then you become more and more and more convinced that there's no way out. You're just doomed. And so it's kind of a disease of rationality. You know, a lot of the time when you're depressed, it's also very hard to feel anything, because the anxiety that often accompanies the depression and your fixation on these thoughts of the past and what you did wrong and the future, what will probably go wrong, they make it impossible for you to be in the present and connect with your emotions. So when we indulge in these negative thoughts, these poisonous thoughts, because that's what they are poison, they are toxic, we give them power, and we need to realize that it's up to us. Nobody is going to save you from your own thoughts. You are the one who needs to choose And just as you have made your life shit by thinking constantly about these thoughts, you can make your life unshit. You can change it. You need to start with just one negative thought and decide, I am going to debate the heck out of this, and I'm going to defeat it, and I'm going to replace it. And so like you would with a rat, and by the way, this is just a metaphor, okay? So I'm not saying do this with real rats. But just like you would with a rat, if you have your house infested by them, what you need to do is get one of them and pick it up and make an example out of it. Kill the little thing and throw him out of your house. All the other rats might get scared. And what I mean by that is that you need to defeat the negative thought with another thought. You can't defeat it in other ways. You need to stop taking it so damn seriously. And so what would it be like if you, instead of taking yourself so seriously, started to actually laugh at yourself? And every time that poisonous thought comes in the house, you're just like, yeah, whatever. You know, heard it all before. I'm not going to pay much attention to you anymore. This isn't reality, you know, and I'm going to take this rat right now and I'm going to throw him up. And then another, and again, and another, and again, and another, and again, until my house is clean again. And you know, I'm not saying that there will never be a rat in your house again. There might be, but then you will straight away notice it and deal with it, rather than allow your house to be infested. So this is a practice to take one negative thought, just one negative thought, and don't give up. What do you have to lose? You know, you have your life to lose if you don't do it. But if you do, you have a chance. And the other thing I'd like to say is related to the other reason for depression, and this is living a life without meaning or purpose. And that is something that will cause the negative thinking in itself. But really, if you're living your life without meaning or purpose, then the depression is an alarm bell that is saying, hey, you got to do something about this. This isn't what you want. You're not living a life that's aligned with your true purpose. So I am ringing this bell and letting you know that you better do something about it. Now, of course, the way that that voice may speak to you is pretty negative. If you can look at the message behind it and ignore the harsh words and basically translate it in a way that makes sense, that you can see the message behind it, then that could be a wonderful thing for you to finally align to. And then the depression doesn't have a reason to even be there anymore. Now, all this requires you to take responsibility for your life, to realize nobody can do this for you, nobody can save you, only you can save you. And I know that this can be pretty annoying to hear. You know, when you've got depression, you're like, oh God, you know, oh really? This is so unfair. But it's just the way it is. If you do that, if you take responsibility and just start with one thought at a time, it will get better. And replace it with a thought that actually you can believe in. So, you know, if you can't believe in, I am a calm person, I am living in the present all the time, I am confident when I speak to people, well, make that thought something you can believe it. You can believe it in. So, for example, make it progressive. Like every day I get more and more confident about talking to people, or the more I talk to people, the more confident I get. The more I get out of the house, the better I feel. You know, make it something that is going to get better and better in time and that you can believe in. And repeat it, because it will then become your reality. The more you repeat it, the more your mind will believe it. Then you'll begin to feel better, you'll begin to take better actions, your thoughts will improve, and so on and so forth. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Tell me what's that first negative thought that you tackled and how it went for you. I'd really love to hear about your results. Thank you.